Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to try and talk through how to collaborate with Git and the process that you use to kind of add code to the repo that we're working with here. I'm going to talk through the theory and I'll walk through making a simple change. I won't start thinking about rules yet, but in the next video we'll start thinking about how you would go and change rules. So in a nutshell, the way that Git works is you have this sort of main, what's called a branch. And this is the sort of main branch for the entire repo. So whenever I've made a change to this, what I've done is I've downloaded this to my local machine. Um, I've then I've made my change and added what's called a commit, which is essentially just a save point. You can think of it as describe what I've done. So for example, recently I added some documentation, and then I've put that back on Git, and that's added that sort of save point to this branch here. And this is a great way of working if you're working solo. However, we're going to be working in sort of a group of 10, maybe 20 of us. So we need a way of making sure that if I make a change to something and you also make a change to something, that we're able to resolve that step by step and get both the changes easily into the main code base. And also, the other kind of important thing is if you were able to upload directly to this main code base and you know made an error or accidentally deleted the wrong thing, you can always roll back because there's always these save points, but it might affect other people's work. It might cause issues. So for this project, what we've done is we've protected the main code base, and the way that you'll add to that code base will be creating your own what's called a branch, and then putting that back into the main code base after a review via what's called a pull request. And there's a nice bit of information about this in the GitHub documentation, and I'll link to this again in the summary materials. But there's a nice sort of image to have in your head here. So this sort of shows the way that collaboration tends to work. And I mean, you can even ignore feature 2 in this because we aren't going to really be doing much in this sort of way. But you have your sort of master branch, or what's called like the main branch in our repo. And the idea is work continues on that, and at some point you decide, right, I want to code this rule. So you make a new branch and you call that branch feature 1. Then you make your changes on that branch, and I mean here again they show another branch. You can almost ignore that actually. And then you make those changes here. Maybe at the same time, other changes are happening in the main branch, either because of other people or because of something that I'm doing. And at some point, you're ready to proceed. You finish with all your work, and you submit this PR, which stands for pull request, and that gets merged back into the main branch. And it's that merge operation where it will check and see, okay, have you changed something that also changed in the main branch? And if so, how do you want to merge your changes with their changes? And there's lots of sort of minor details to get into there. But this is broadly speaking the way that the collaboration is going to work. So going back to GitHub, you'll be working with these kind of pull requests, making branches, and then using those branches to submit the work. And to give an example of this, I'm going to walk through just doing a really, really simple issue and show you what that looks like. So let's say I just want to add an issue to change something in the README. So I've noticed that in the README, the kind of installation method is wrong, which is actually true. I noticed this just before I made the video. So I'll say I want to update this method. So I'm making this issue here. I mean, this is more just like a forum. Hopefully you guys have been using this on the other repo for the front end. I'll say I'll assign myself to this, and I'll submit this issue. And you can see here. Okay, so now I'm assigned to this issue. So now what I want to do is go and solve this. So what I'll do is, if you haven't already in the last session, you can click Run on Replit here. I already did this, so I already have a copy of this repository in my sort of home here. So from here, you go to your home, and you can see here's all the sort of recent stuff I've got. And you know, if you've already accidentally clicked Run on Replit a few times, like I have, maybe you have a few different ones of these. It shouldn't really matter. You can just click on one and load it up. So then now I'm going to actually get to work on this issue. So today we're going to be a lot more concerned with this version control side of things. So you can see here, this shows again the same list of commits you were seeing in GitHub. So I can see if I sort of expand this out a bit, you've got the added documentation change, and it says here we're on the branch main. So we, as I mentioned, we don't want to do our work on the branch main. To do our work, we want to create a new branch. So what I'll do is I'll make a new branch. I'll just double check for this issue. So for me, I find it helpful to name the branches in a way that means I can identify the issue. So this is issue number 7. So I'm going to call this branch 7-readme fix and create it. And you should see that the branch is now selected. If you have any issues with this, just try going back to the GitHub, re-clicking run on replit, and then getting this branch to work. I actually just had an issue with this just now when I was trying to fix it. So you might need to reload the repo to get it to pick up on the branch switch. But now it's switched and it says we're on this branch 7 readme fix. So now I'll make the code change I want to make, which is just change this command here to use poetry, which is what I'm using. Don't worry too much about this. This is just a change I needed to do. So this has now changed the instructions here to say run poetry install. I then go back here, and you can see it's seen that I've modified readme.md. So I can say what I've done is I've change dependency installation process. And then I say commit and push. So this is actually doing two things. So it's committing it locally on replit, and then pushing that back to GitHub. And now you see this new commit is here, but it's saying still we're on 7 readme fix. So now we go to GitHub. Now we go to the repo on GitHub here. And you see, when I log in here, I see 7 readme fix had recent pushes less than a minute ago. So now we need to create this pull request to put this branch of code into the main code base. And obviously, you can either just click this button right here, which will open that up. Alternatively, you can go to pull requests, new pull request, and go through the process manually and select the branch that you care about. But GitHub will normally pick up on this kind of thing. So we can see here, the base branch is main, the branch for comparison is 7 readme fix. And I'll again just write a short comment on the work that I did here. So I'll say I changed from pip to poetry. Assign myself, and then create and the other part that I'll write here is I'll say this closes issue number 7. And writing this means GitHub will pick up on this issue being linked, and when this is merged, it will close that issue. And you can see here under linked issues, it mentions this functionality. You can click this closing keywords button to understand more about this. So now I'll create a pull request, and you can see here's all the information. So there's conversation here, which is starting with my initial description. Then I can see there's one commit here, which is the one that I worked on. There's one file that's changed. So you can see here, we began with pip install, and now we've got poetry install. And then there are some checks that are running as well, which are the automated checks that I get to run on this before you're able to merge it. And if I scroll down and want to merge this, you can see it says here review required, and merging can be performed with one approving review. So for all your work, to start with, it will be me reviewing it. So I'll be able to look through your code and see issues and make any comments. And the way that works is, I can go here, review changes, and add a comment either at a high level, or I can add comments just on specific lines. Maybe I'd say, change this to something else. And then these comments will show up line by line. You'll be able to get information from that. Quite similar to how the feedback's been working on Replit. It's just a different context. And then basically, so the way this will work is you'll put yourself out. I'll have a look at it. If it all looks good, I'll just approve it and merge it in. If not, I'll make some comments and that'll ping back to you to make those changes. And then once we've kind of made the changes and it's all looking good again, it will go in. So if we go back to here, in this case, because I don't have a reviewer, I'm just going to merge this without review, which I can do as an administrator. So when I click merge here, and I use my event privileges to merge this, you can see that I'm just making sure that I've got all this information here, confirm merge. And then I can, as it says here, the pull request has now been successfully merged and closed. And this branch can therefore be safely deleted, which I'll do here. And now, when I go back to the main code base, I can see the last change was to README 5 minutes ago, where we changed the dependency installation process. And you can see here in the history, there's now 2 more commits. We've got the one from that branch, change dependency installation process, and then the merge commit, which is kind of identifying that branch has been merged back into that main branch and might also contain any changes if there were conflicts. So that's how you make these changes. And this process isn't just for me. This is actually a kind of gold standard process for doing this kind of work. So if you ever want to work on open source code or work with other programmers, this is exactly how you do it.